Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Adrielle and I'm currently narrating a story of my life dating back from January 2016. In the previous episode, I talked about the month of November and the dream I had about Brandon lusting over other women, and I found out that he was cheating on Caitlin. So in this episode, y'all, I'm actually going to talk about a dream that I had in the month of August, and I got the interpretation, so I want to talk about it. So here it goes. So in the month of August, I had a dream that Brandon and Caitlin were arguing in their bedroom. I talked about that in my prophetic dreams episode. So fast forward to November 26th. It's like nighttime. I'm getting ready for devotion and then heading on to bed. So before devotion, I was in my bathroom because I was doing my nighttime skincare routine. So as I was doing my nighttime skincare routine, I was putting the serums on my face, and I was just thinking about the whole dream I had in November. Like, man, Brandon is actually cheating on Caitlin. That's so crazy. Then all of a sudden, the Lord brings to my memory the dream I had in August of Brandon and Caitlin arguing in the bedroom. So I'm thinking about the dream, and I'm like, man, it's so crazy that in the dream, Brandon and Caitlin were arguing. It kind of reminded me of how Lisa and Sam would argue. That was when I got the revelation, y'all. So let me first start off with the interpretation of the dream. So in the dream, Brandon and Caitlin were arguing. That was God's way of letting me know that, hey, Brandon and Caitlin argue often in their relationship. This is how their relationship goes. They just fight. Right? So that was God letting me know what was happening in Brandon and Caitlin's relationship. Now, let me tie it to Lisa and Sam. Y'all, the reason why God had me live in apartment 16 was because of Lisa and Sam. God wanted to show me a glimpse of what Brandon and Caitlin had going on through Lisa and Sam. Y'all, it all made sense in that moment because I remember when I moved to Hidden Valley, that was August 2020. Y'all, Lisa and Sam were not cutting up until after I came back to Atlanta from Jersey. That was when they started acting up. And I'm like, why are they acting up? God was using Lisa and Sam's marriage to minister to me at the time. And I think for God, it was very important because y'all, after the reconnection post, I remember feeling so defeated. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm holding on to what God is telling me, the promise. But y'all, I remember just feeling alone in my feelings. It's like, okay, I'm holding on to hope. I'm holding on to God's promise. But feelings wise, I felt alone. I felt so alone. I remember the first 3 nights after the reconnection post, going to sleep at night, it was like kind of hard for me. My sleeps were restless. I felt so alone in my feelings as I was holding on to God's promise. So coming back to Atlanta, you know, Lisa and Sam are cutting up. I didn't know that was God's way of telling me, like, listen, you're not alone. I know this is hard for you. You just lost your father. You're seeing Brandon with Caitlin. You feel alone in your feelings. You're not alone. And I'm going to show you that you're not alone by using Lisa and Sam to minister to you. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I'm like, that was exactly what I needed. Because like I said, y'all, I felt so alone in my feelings. I couldn't talk to anybody about what I was going through. And it's like, God's like, I'm with you. I'm going to show that I'm with you by using Lisa and Sam to minister to you. I had no idea, y'all. All I knew was that these two were just acting up and they were annoying and I wanted them to leave. So yeah, y'all, that was the revelation, y'all. That was the reason why God wanted me to live in apartment 16. Oh, man, I was just like, wow, Lord, you knew exactly what I needed in that time in my life. I had no idea that that was what God was doing, y'all. So I'm like, wow, okay, so Brandon and Caitlyn, they argue a lot. That's not what I'm seeing on social media. So that's really God's way of letting me know, like, Adriel, stop allowing the social media pictures and posts to get to you. It's all fake. It's all deception. And I'm like, man, if only I was a fly on their wall. If only I was a fly on Brandon and Caitlyn's wall, you know? And it's so funny with the whole Lisa and Sam situation, because I remember saying to myself, like, man, I wish I knew their Instagram so that I can see the type of posts that they're posting. And I'm like, I'm very sure they're posting how much they love each other, but in reality, they are at each other's throats. I remember saying that, not knowing that that was a mirror of Brandon and Caitlyn's relationship. So I remember started thinking to myself, like, man, if Caitlyn and Brandon are constantly fighting, was Caitlyn also constantly fighting her ex-husband too? Because he filed for divorce. And we're going to talk about that later on. Well, at this time, I believed he filed for divorce. Let me just say it like that. But we're going to talk about her divorce later on. So I'm like, yeah, was she fighting her ex-husband too? I'm like, oh my goodness. Caitlyn is a nutcase. Because I remember thinking, like, Lisa is a nutcase. Like, why is she always fighting? So I'm like, okay, yeah, Caitlyn, ugh. So anyways, I'm just like, wow, it is so crazy how you think you know a situation based off what's posted on social media, but you really have no idea. So yeah, y'all, that was what happened at the end of November 26th. Next episode, I'm just going to wrap up the month of November, and then later on, I'm going to start off with the month of December. So if you're liking An Unlikely Story, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please also share my videos as well. And until next time, bye.